I had heard today that the president was being interviewed, and he indicated that he is forming a study team to be able to review and be able to evaluate the matter and the issue that you speak of. And I think the DFA will be part of that study group.
So no action on Sabah. The President will not tell those 200 Filipinos claiming Sabah to go home.
No, as far as that's concerned, Mr. Lopez, we have been urging the folks in that place, Lahad Datu, to withdraw peacefully and as soon as possible to make their way back home. And we're doing this in cooperation with the Malaysian government. Until now, the work remains in progress.
So they can withdraw, but there's no timetable.
Well, there is a timetable that we had a deadline. The deadline was supposed to have been Monday. We asked for an extension of that deadline to Wednesday, and then the Malaysians extended the deadline to Friday, tomorrow. And it's likely that if we still have not achieved our objective, that we will seek another extension of that deadline.
Of course, they will not move out tomorrow.
Not likely tomorrow.
But
No, I think what the president has said is he's forming a study team to look into this issue. That's, I think, precisely what he said.
Look into the issue related to the incident in Lahad.
No, I think he was referring to the Sabah issue.
Sabah claim.
Sabah claim.
You mean we are reviving the Sabah claim?
Well, he didn't say that. What he said was it will be studied.
Sounds like we are reviving the Sabah claim. Because what should be reviewed is the situation in Sabah of 200 Filipinos going back home to their homeland, Sabah.
Well, that is precisely what we're trying to do for the moment. We are addressing the Filipinos that are in Lahad Datu, and we're trying to get them to come home peacefully and safely. At this time, I think we're not at the appropriate time in terms of discussing the claim.
Okay. So in effect, we are asking our Filipinos compatriots to come home to Mindanao. At the same time, we are reviewing what exactly is the status of our Sabah claim.
I am not exactly sure whether we are on that.
Because it's not clear, why do we need to review something that should have been in the back burner, so to speak?
I can't answer your question, Mr. Lopez. When I can, I'll come back to you.
Okay. Sarah, pabana? Sarah? Okay, follow up.
Sir, one quick question about Sabah. I heard the police attaché was deployed to Kinabalu. What happened to
Which attaché?
the police attaché from the Philippine Embassy in KL was deployed to Kinabalu for this standoff in Lahad Datu. So, was the police attaché able to get in and talk to the Filipinos in Lahad Datu?
I think he was dispatched to go to that place, but I think that he has not been able to go inside the place where this group is gathered for the moment. So he is not able to directly talk with them, but he is in the area.
So are we concerned that our police attaché wasn't able to get in touch with our Filipinos? When they were supposed to be able to resolve the situation as soon as?
Yeah, well, we have that concern, of course, but we, as I said, we are working in cooperation with the Malaysian government.
So what's the alternative, sir, if our police attaché or embassy officials can get inside? So what's the alternative?
Well, we are, as I said, I think we're begging the question here. I did say that we're working with the Malaysian government in terms of accomplishing that objective.
Secretary, without begging the question, the police attaché was refused entry to the location of the Filipinos, or the Filipinos refused to see the police attaché.
Well, I'm not sure exactly. The report to me was that he has not yet been able to penetrate and be able to talk with the.
Because if I were the 200 Filipinos, I would not like to see the police attaché. Because he's going to ask us to go back to Mindanao.
That would be his mission.
Therefore, he failed. Sarah? Where is Sarah?
I think a number of them would be able to at this time carry a permanent residency for that area for Malaysia. So not all of them are Filipinos.
So, they are not tourists, they are returning residents. So
There are different categories of people there, Mr. Lopez, so I can't make a categorical response to
so
that.
they are permanent resident, that means like they have a green card. They are returning residents.
Yeah, actually, you could say that they
But the only problem is that being returning residents, they are fully armed.
no,
Normally, you arrest those people.
we have been able to ascertain that there are escorts. The group itself is not armed, but they have some escorts who are armed. But the group itself is not armed.
The escorts who are armed were not disarmed.
No, they have not been disarmed. For the moment, they have not been disarmed.
That means they are recognized as legitimate. Because those normally, if you show up in the airport armed, you are arrested right away, even if you are a resident or a tourist. So their right to go there was recognized.
I can't answer that categorically because I don't know at what point they picked up those arms. Did they have those arms when they crossed the border, or were they unarmed when they went there and subsequently secured arms?
Because if you ask me, sir, the move of the so-called Sultan of Sulu was brilliant. It was an invasion that we should have thought of in the first place back in 1963. So the Malaysians are non-stop. Are we going to arrest these people? They claim to be the owners of the island. How do we arrest them? So what is your solution, sir?
Well, I go back to the effort that's being exerted there, Mr. Lopez.
To return peacefully.
Back, yes.
What if they don't return peacefully?
Well, I think what is in the works is that Prime Minister Najib has indicated that if they don't withdraw and go back peacefully, that he will arrange for them to be deported.
Yeah, mine.
Sir, about how many of these should return to Southern Philippines? Of these 100 Filipinos there,
How many?
how many should go back?
We don't know. We're not sure of the numbers. We believe that we're told that the numbers are about 180. But that
It's
includes
100, not 200.
180.
180.
There are all kinds of numbers floating around, 500, 400. And we're also told that there are women who are a part of the group, and civilians.
So what would be the effect of this incident to the bilateral relations between the two countries?
I don't think that it will have an adverse effect on our relations. Our relations with Malaysia is excellent, and there is a spirit of cooperation in terms of dealing with the problem as it stands.
But by the way, just a sidelight, there's no exchange deal between the Filipino scammer, Amarillo, and these invaders.
I don't think, sir, that that's connected.
And there's no connection.
Yes.
Yeah, more question.
Sir, Jason from Agence France Press. So you said that the plan is to deport them, as the Prime Minister of Malaysia has indicated. But how do we deport them? Do we use force? They've said time and again over the past week that they're prepared to fight them.
I'm sorry.
How do we deport Filipinos who are in Hagdato right now? Do we intend to use force? Because they've
Well, we are against the use of force, and we will be asking the Malaysian government. I think the Malaysian government is reluctant to use force. They want to do this peacefully, quietly, and that's why it stands where it is now. Because we're trying to find a solution to be able to get them out of there peacefully.
Just to clarify a little bit further, the deadline is tomorrow, and how long do we keep asking Malaysia to extend the deadline?
Until we're able to achieve our objective, I think.
So we'll just keep on extending.
Well, we are. I cannot mention to you the developments that's taking place because I don't want to prejudice the negotiations. But I think there are negotiations with the family, and hopefully that goes well, and hopefully there's a peaceful withdrawal that results from it.
Yeah.
And just one last answer. You said that there's a study being created, ordered by the President. What exactly do you hope to achieve by this study group, considering that this has been in the back burner for the longest?
Well, we'll have to define the objectives of the study group. We've not done that yet.
No objectives yet of what the study group is.
Who are in the study group?
Well, as far as I know, someone was interviewed today, a group of experts, which will include the DOJ, people from the DOJ, people from the DFA, and others. So we don't know what the total
It's
composition.
just a study. Their study will be non-binding.
Yes.
So it's meaningless. Just biding for time. Yeah, if I were president, I've run out of options. So I create a study. Therefore, it's a press release. Looks like a press release to me. Because if I were the president's propagandist, it's a good move while you're thinking what you are trying to do. Don't you think so, Secretary?
I'll have to think about it and get back to you.
One more question, then we go back to our own panel. We go back to PLE, Radon, sir. Please don't be timid because the secretary is very nice. Yeah.
Sir,